Here's what's coming up on the Cold Popcast.
Talmadge is right behind me. I need to check in to see what he's eating to make sure his plasma's okay.
Do you think if you offered your father some of your blood, he would take it?
I mean, he would probably ask, why am I doing this?
Yeah, the dad is extremely fit. Like, he's like super swole, too.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like every time the camera goes on him, it's like, his posture gets better. What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve.
And today we're going to be talking about tech millionaire Bryan Johnson, who is currently doing an experiment where he's trying to maintain his youth by swapping blood with his son.
Yeah, and it's actually not blood that he's swapping. It's one of the components of blood. It's called plasma.
It's plasma.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of like plasma donation centers where you can get paid like $20 for them to suck you dry and take all your blood.
Yeah. If you're real if you're kind of like a real technical nerd, vampires drink blood for the plasma. It's not really about the blood.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I think that's like canon in like Spider-Man lore. Like with Blade, is actually about their plasma.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this Bryan Johnson guy, he's been basically doing blood transfusions, plasma transfusions, using his son's blood, and he actually started taking the blood from his son and giving it to his father as well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the FDA says that this therapy doesn't actually really work, or at least it's not known to work. And the entire thing is based on this study that was done by some scientists. I think this was in like the 70s or 80s. Or no, this was in 2006, now that I think about it. In 2006, they stitched two rats together. They stitched their circulatory systems together so that the blood from the younger rat was flowing into the blood of the older rat. Right? So this actually did kind of work, but of course Bryan Johnson can't stitch himself to his son. So I don't think it's the same exact thing. But let's see a little clip from this video real quick. So Bryan Johnson actually released a video documenting the experience of swapping blood and vampiring his child. So yeah, let's see this.
I started to develop a relationship with my dad, and we began working on practical things together, like my homework. And slowly I began to develop a trust for him because I saw that in the areas he's helped me in life, he has had a good track record at helping me succeed. And so that sort of bled into other areas of my life. And eventually...
It really sounds like he's like really buttering us up to be like, hey everyone, I just want to let you know my dad's a really great guy. Like you can tell he's gonna say something crazy.
It's basically feels a lot like he's like, because basically Bryan Johnson, his son was estranged. He was estranged from, like, the father was like out of his life.
Okay.
So now the kid's like, yeah, so my dad came in my life and he started helping me with my homework. He's a really great guy.
Really eccentric man. He's always been there. I want to make sure everyone understands that he's a really great guy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now
taking my blood.
Now tell us what we're here to hear, because we know what this interview is about. Quit stalling.
All right.
I came to the conclusion that I wanted to leave the church I grew up in and come out to California to live with him. And it was the best decision I've made in my life.
Bro, someone's holding a gun behind that camera.
He said that with no excitement whatsoever. It was the best decision I ever made. I left my church, my family, my entire life back home, and
he says with a 1,000-yard stare, and I absolutely don't regret it. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like he probably doesn't regret it as much, or at least he's convinced himself not to regret it because his dad is a millionaire. Like, at the very least, he has like extreme wealth now. Mm-hmm. He just has to get his blood drained.
Yeah, he just has to be vampired like essentially.
Yeah. So let's actually see a little bit more of that video. The next timestamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's at this point. They're on the way to the blood transfusion, the blood extraction event.
We're 34,000 feet. We're flying to Dallas. We're about an hour into the flight. We just had some food. Yeah, we're going to land. I'm going to see my dad, which I'm really excited about, because I haven't seen him in about a year. We talk a lot on the phone, but I haven't been with him. Talmadge is right behind me. I need to check in to see what he's eating to make sure his plasma's okay. All right, so I'll see you guys 2 hours. We'll be landing. I'll see you in Dallas.
How's your plasma, son?
Okay, pause it.
Keep that plasma good for me.
Yeah, I got to make sure he's eating so his plasma's still good by the time we get there. I don't want that plasma going bad.
So was that was the dad, right? That was dad speaking or no?
That was the dad, yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, I was because that's such like a bizarre thing to say to someone that like I'm literally taking your blood, and it's like he wasn't even checking on his son.
It's
He was
like
just
he's
like,
cargo
"How's
or
that
something."
plasma looking, son? You feeling good?
Yeah.
All right, just making sure. You know,
Yeah.
you gonna have a big day tomorrow."
Yeah, have this bag. He's like force feeding them chips. And
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah, make sure you're checking your blood sugar, okay?
Yeah, it's actually like I don't know. It's just like crazy. Just he's almost farming his son.
Yeah, you know what? See, this dad, you know, just off the information, he seems like the type of guy that either if he didn't become a tech millionaire, he would have became like a psychopath.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's like anyone that just listens, that just like takes inspiration from something minor and like takes it to like a natural extreme. I mean, that's probably why he became a millionaire. He probably he probably invested his time in this reckless ambition into that. But now that he got that and he still has like that same ambition that put him there, now he's like, well, I need something else that's like crazy and ambitious. And rather than, like, oh, I'm going to think of a new invention, I'm like, what if I drained my son's blood and put it in me?
He actually calls this Project Blueprint. So he gave it like a real flashy title. And when you say why not, like if he wasn't a millionaire, he would just be a psychopath. But
Yeah.
I feel like why not be both?
Yeah, I mean, that
In this
seems
case.
like the path. It's like, it's like it doesn't stop it,
Yeah.
Usually people that have like high levels of ambition towards something, it's like that's usually like that can be channeled into something completely off the wall and like say yield other effects. Like I'm not, like I say, he's high risk, high reward. So it's like, I don't, yeah, it's like I got millions of dollars from tech, but also, I'm trying to see if I can live forever by, literally bleeding my son.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's just kind of this weird juxtaposition.
Okay, there's like 2 more timestamps. Let's see the next one real
Okay.
quick. This is when they actually arrived to the hospital.
The blood event.
Patients
Yeah.
or injecting into the scalp. If you think about it, people have been donating plasma since the 50s and 60s. It's beneficial for the donor as well as the recipient.
All right, well, Talmadge will be up first. Is that cool?
Whoa.
One liter out, 1 liter in for me, 1 liter out for me, liter into Dad. So I
Divvy
mean,
this
you
boy
guess
up.
with Talmadge, he's been on Blueprint for 2 years now with me, and we do all of our blood work together. And you're right, like if you look at the results of our blood work, we're almost indistinguishable.
I could be a part of a blueprint therapy that would help reverse my age and my dad's age and my grandpa's age all at the same time.
Pause it real quick.
And so I was ecstatic.
Bro.
I wish that like this had taken place over a long period of time, because I would love to see a time lapse where every time they go back to the son's interview and the dad is like, he's just getting weaker and more withered away, and then like the dad's like just getting stronger and like getting more young looking.
Yeah, the dad is extremely fit. Like he's like super swole too.
Yeah, I
Like,
feel like every time the camera goes on him, it's like, his posture gets better.
Yeah.
His arms get bigger. Like that'd just be hilarious.
yeah, there's no way being a millionaire and just like a YouTuber at the same time. He has how many subscribers? He has like 800,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So it's like, is that an 800? What was I say, Lizzie? You see that? It doesn't matter.
Who was
421,000.
421,000 subscribers. Yeah, he definitely wants the attention, and he's gonna flex every time he's on camera.
Yeah, this reminds me of that South Park episode. I think it was Christopher Reed who played
Yeah.
Superman. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was just like draining fetuses to like
Yeah.
gain his ability to walk
Yeah.
and then get super strength. It's like
Yeah, he's just cracking them open and sucking out all the juice so he gets their
Yeah.
stem cells or whatever. That was
Yeah.
a great episode. That's this boy. This boy is the fetus in that situation.
yeah, he's just this endless supply of fetus juice.
Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that he does not seem happy. Like,
Yeah.
he seems more like he's like an almost willing participant. I won't say like an unwilling
Almost
participant,
willing.
but it's like he's like, well, my dad might be draining my juice, but at least I'm like,
Yeah.
a millionaire technically now.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think my dad loves me. Right? He wouldn't be doing this if he didn't love me, right?
Yeah, like even the way he just framed what he said, he was like, yeah, I just am so happy I get to be a part of this Project Blueprint where I help my dad live longer and I help my granddad live longer. And,
Yeah.
He's getting
but actually
farmed.
let it keep playing because he says something else that's pretty crazy.
Okay.
He's really just getting farmed by his parents.
Ecstatic
Farmed.
to have that opportunity to be a part of that.
That's me in a bag.
That's a nice looking bag.
Normally this filter is filled with all kinds of junk that your blood has inside of it, but this is completely clean and there's usually something in there, but there's nothing in here.
I created this human. He's now almost 18 years old. We're now doing this together. I never imagined in my entire life this kind of relationship with my child.
Who would?
Yo.
Pause it. Go to the next time.
I manufactured.
He's like,
this
I created
boy.
this human.
Yeah,
and now we'll
but-
take his blood.
He's like, you mean your son? He's like, yes.
Yeah, the boy.
The
I like
boy.
to call him the boy.
He called him the boy. Just this cognitively distant relationship with his son.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes. This
Yeah, and he
human
didn't
of
even.
mine.
The crazy part is he didn't even raise him. Like he wasn't even around.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I made this human, and now I'm using him.
Yes, I finally have found utility for my boy.
Looks like that's the last timestamp.
Oh, that was the last one. Okay.
All right, cool.
Um,
Yeah.
Well, that's what's going on with Bryan Johnson, at least.
Yeah, I think I had I had one comment I was gonna make. Just I just kind of imagine like this is literally like a parasitic relationship.
Yeah.
With his father.
Literally.
Well, because the timestamp I was looking for, he actually. Can you just like scroll through the video, like for him sitting on the couch again, like towards the end of the video? Basically, he's talking about how like he can't wait to do this with his kids too. So like they're like starting. No, like go forward. They're like starting like a family tradition of
Bleeding each other dry.
maybe that's the end. Maybe we passed it. It's fine.
Don't the blood
family
get passed down to the granddaddy?
Yeah, the blood goes to the granddad too. Man, there's like one more part.
Pretty much the youngest.
Yeah, let me just see this timeline real quick, and I'll tell you where to stop. Go left.
Okay.
There's like them sitting. They're like taking all these weird photos. Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, right.
They're like in a
Right
desert
here?
valley.
A desert.
Keep going. A little bit further.
The remaining thing we have
right
to
here.
negotiate with my
Yeah, they take like a bunch
ever.
of family photos.
And actually go, physically go.
It's like, yeah.
Let's commemorate this a moment.
Cool. You look
Like a
great.
ritual.
Dad, you want to take a second?
You're looking really strong
If you
today,
had to
Dad.
summarize, what would you say?
You can think about this as things an individual can do to be healthy and well. We typically think about it as an individual doing something, but rarely this intimate of a setting where you're exchanging biofluids in a way that's meaningfully going to impact your body.
I feel like today that pool experience was like, like any complications, the humor, everything that was sand, like everything that went with it. It was just like the culmination of all those factors that made it one of those experiences that were like, shit, that was awesome.
Yeah.
It's his greatest project, his everything, that he's throwing everything in, and a son that adopts that, and then me being able to participate. Yeah, that's kind of where my mind is.
All right, Pops.
Like
I just
the-
like the dad seems like he's also not really into it.
I want
Oh,
to
yeah.
live forever. And, I'm really liking this.
This man's been ready to die for years.
He's like, please, no more blood.
Yeah, Dad, I have a great idea. It's like-
I have just before. Whoa, do you have something?
Oh no, I didn't say anything.
Just before we close it out, I do want to ask, like, and I guess this is like an open question. The floor's kind of been open already, but you know,
Right.
really, do you think if you offered your father some of your blood, he would take it?
I mean, he would probably ask, "Why am I doing this?" He'd probably want a reason. But I mean, I guess if the reason sounded good enough, probably like, "Hey, Dad, I think this will make you live forever," and or like at least keep you like well into like your 90s. He'll probably be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, sure.
I-
Yeah,
I'll
my
see
dad
why
would
not.
totally be into that. What about you guys? You think you would?
I don't think so.
As like a 60-year-old birthday present, like here's some plasma.
Yeah.
Hope you live another 20 years.
Yeah. Like, hey, Dad, that's me in that bag.
Yeah, there's me in there, Dad. Well,
Rosie-
go on, eat up.
Rosie, you giving your dad the plasma sack?
No, I don't think he'll go for it. He ain't gonna take it.
Oh, okay.
Here's another question: do you guys think this is actually gonna work? Like, do you think it's gonna actually keep him young?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I do think having like young, fresh plasma, it sounds like it would do something.
I mean, yeah, like on paper, like I've watched enough like fantasy stuff to like, you know, certain things that don't make sense just start making sense to you. Like, yeah, you know, fresh plasma being it transmuted to another person.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I could imagine that, like, you know, in a sci-fi show, like that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
if they say, how do we stop the vampires? It's like, oh, we gotta transplant their plasma. Like, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, we need extra plasma to fight them off.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess like in the real world, you need science, and at that point, I'm just like, well, you know, this could just be a coincidence, like, because it seems like he's doing a lot of extra health additives to just stay in shape. So I'm
Yeah.
like, the plasma could probably be doing nothing, and he's just keeping in shape, which
Yeah.
I would err on. That's probably what's happening. But I definitely would like it to work. I think it'd be really cool that, like, you know, taking plasma from a younger person and giving it to an older person, essentially leeching them, would like actually keep you young. That would
sounds
be
scary.
amazing. I would love that.
Yeah.
What if they Like, what if they lifetimes evened out? And
That
then
would
they
be
all
so
died
bogus.
at the same time. I was thinking that, like, what if that happened?
It
That'd
literally
be crazy as
synchronizes
hell.
their lifespan.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be
The
actually.
twist is-
They
be
all
jacked
make
up.
it. Well, yeah. That I don't know. That'd be crazy. They all die at like 60.
They all die at the same time and shit.
What if they start like
I mean,
what if it starts like they start getting each other's personalities? They start like like genetically
They're
turning
like-
into
they're
like
like
the same
assimilating.
person.
Ugh.
Yeah, they're both like genetically assimilating. Like they start like instead of being younger, they're actually just like turning into the same person slowly.
Oh, that's creepy.
Man, more people would start doing that to their kids probably.
I think
At that
so.
point, they'd be like, "Oh, I can literally clone
I
myself."
want
Yes.
to look like you. I want your youth. It's like you're like some old granny rubbing her granddaughter's face. I want your youth.
Okay, let's close this one out, man.
My precious.
So, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure you check us out on all platforms. You can subscribe on YouTube. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Rumble, every platform available. You can also subscribe on Patreon if you feel like, this show is worth, giving us a donation. We have all of the catalog of My Black Friends podcast. It's an old, more comedy-based show we used to do. So, yeah, if you enjoyed the show, thank you. And, we got to pop out of here, so.
All right, guys. Peace.